Hello and welcome to today's session on modern trends in IoT Smart Lighting Platforms. My name is Biren Gandhi and I'm founder and CEO of Speak to IoT and Smart India. Speak to IoT's mission is to connect everything through voice, and we provide a simple, secure voice AI platform to connect any IoT capable devices or corporate workflows or practically anything to all popular voice assistants, including Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, Samsung Smart Things, and whatnot, and whatever comes in the future. Absolutely. Yes, it's possible. And that's what we are on a mission to do. I was humbled and fortunate to be part of some big names in Silicon Valley before embarking upon this venture of Speak to IoT. I was part of many different category creators, category defining companies and big names. For example, I was early part of Facebook that obviously created the entire social networking phenomenon. After that, part of Zynga in the CTO capacity, where we created a bunch of the new names in social gaming concepts altogether. Follow on in my entrepreneurial journey, I created and co founded a startup called Ad Immunity. The mission of that was to have crowdsource creatives for advertising jingles, audio jingles, or any other images or any other creative websites, anything that you see today by the platforms of 99 Designs and Fivers and whatnot. So we had that original concept of that idea as well. And last but not least, I was fortunate and humbled to be part of Cisco, where I was part of a small team that coined the term IoT, the Internet of Things, and promoted to the rest of the world. In a way, I've been at the forefront of innovation in Silicon Valley for more than 25 years. And that gives a unique opportunity to understand technology from many different perspectives. And today we are going to see some of those perspectives in action. While focusing on the lighting industry in particular, let's look at the transformation journey that lighting has gone through over the years. If we look back in the history, obviously initially the very first and probably the only source of energy was sun, the natural light. But then mankind evolved around finding lights at the dark hours. So they invented torches, burning oils or various kinds of substances, and eventually there were candles and wick inventions. And moving on to gas lamps in 17th, 18th century in England and followed by that in America. But the transformation step was when gas lamps changed to electrical lamps. And that is where the modern day lighting journey actually started. And later on, it went on from incandescent lamps and lights to various mercury lights and always on, always off, default off, like variety of configurations. And finally, what we see today, most common form of lighting as the LED, light emitting diode, which is primarily the energy saving lights of today. But the future goes to the intelligent, sensible lights, which are more intuitive, which are intertwined with the human existence and human experience throughout the future. And if we look at it, the platformization curve has been pointing upwards. Previously, in the early days, obviously there was no platformization, as we all know. Everything was manual, one-off kind of things. Even in the gas lamps in the old age British colonies and territories, somebody has to climb up every single lamp in the evening to light them up, and again climb up in the morning to turn them off. But automation has been the later part of 20th century and the early part of today's age, as we see, which is coexisting with the technological innovation and advancements. So platformization of technologies is a key ingredient in actually understanding the evolution of a variety of lighting platforms, IoT lighting platforms, and then to smart IoT lighting platforms. Somebody might have read this interesting quote by Phil Simon in one of his book, The Age of the Platform. Very nicely and crisply articulated by Phil here, is people need simple, secure, powerful, integrated, and user-friendly ways to create, consume, purchase, share, and manage variety of things, variety of technologies. Although I largely agree with the quote, one thing that is missing here is extensibility of the platform. And naturally, the scope of Phil's research was around this big four: Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Google, which provide very little extensibility, at least in the early days. But nowadays, the extensibility is a very big attribute and a desired property of any kind of platform you take. Why? Because platforms provide the economies of scale. So somebody, if you Google around, like you say, don't build products, build platforms, you'll find like millions of articles and research journals there, because platforms provide that economies of scale, which are sometimes hard to find in product, no matter how well designed the product is, unless of course you're Apple. That's a different story altogether. But additionally, the platforms provide this technological leverage as well, because you can apply one sort of technological segment into a variety of products, which are all residing on the same platform. It also has the capability of partnership play. You can not only control, but you can invite outside third party collaborators and partners as well to contribute and chime in and extend your platform in a strategic manner, so that it benefits humanity in general and obviously business at a minimum. It has a sense of community connections. Right? Today, we are all enjoying Linux, the Linux movement, but that has the distinct community connection flavor to that. In fact, all open source projects are having that attribute as a common. It has the community connection element, which is very powerful in the platform paradigm. And finally, it's the security advantage that we get. Yes, by controlling things in the old days and old age of security by obscurity, you're not sharing details of some things with the outside world. So you think that items are more secure, but that's not the case. In today's age and day, if you're sharing more openly, people are actually, there are obviously many white hat hackers. They help finding holes in your platforms as a community. And obviously, there is bug bounty program and rewards programs to go along with that. But in a nutshell, those elements actually help you make your platforms and products more secure, more robust, and more sturdier to win the confidence of not just like a small scale industries, but Fortune 500 companies and big scale enterprises. And very interesting things, platform provide the unique perspective. So first look, what appears to be camels in this picture are actually camels' shadows. Now look closely once again. Camels are hard to see. They are matching their color with the sand underneath, but their shadows are black in color, widely visible. So how can we relate this thing to platform? So platforms allow us to go deeper, look at a different perspective, look in a contradictorian manner, look as compare and contrast manner how and where things stand. And then only you can see things as they are. Another interesting perspective was shared by a friend recently on a WhatsApp, and he asked me a question saying, "Hey, what is the parking lot number where the car is parked here? Identify." And I try to say like, hey, there is no logic in this, like 16 and 6 and 68 and 88 and 98. Like there is apparently no logic. But when I flipped the picture, then the aha moment came along. That wow, okay, now I know it's 87. So platforms offer us these kind of broad perspectives to change our vision. Because as Jonathan Swift, one of the popular author, he said, vision is seeing the invisible. What other people cannot see, that's what vision is. That's what leadership should be focusing on. And platform mindset provide us with that opportunity. And that's where all the benefits are, because in the end, no matter what we do, it's not about products, it's not about services, it's not about even platforms. It's all about people. All the businesses collectively in the world exist because of people. So this has to be people-centric world. And when we are dealing with people-centric world, we obviously have some challenges. So in our experience as part of our startup and our corporate journey, I had the fortune to work with and interview many different CEOs and CIOs and CTOs and CMOs and product officers, chief product officers, about what are the top challenges for anything, especially in the IoT world, in the LED, smart lighting, voice AI, all those words, like in any innovative journey, what are the topmost challenges? And almost all of them reiterated the same answer, maybe in the variety of priorities, but these three are the topmost challenges: cost, convenience, and control. The flip side of challenge is always that it's an opportunity as well, because it's an unsolved problem. There is a gap, there is a white space where you can go in and win over that particular segment. So each challenge actually is an opportunity. And all these three C's, cost, convenience, and control, they provide the exact same thing: challenge and opportunities. And if we can harness, just like the light of the sun, if we can harness those opportunities, we'll be golden. Any business can leverage if they harness these three challenges slash opportunities of cost, convenience, and control. Because at the end of the day, it's a carrot or stick mindset, right? Because on one side, it's a challenge, which is a stick, which is determined to punish you, to penalize you, to create hurdles, obstacles, and all that. Versus on the other side, there is a carrot, opportunities, the big picture things, the greediness of human mind, capitalism, opportunities, profits, gains, all those nice things. So which mindset we are dealing with, that's what make all the difference. The same thing we can look at either problem, or the same thing we can look at from an opportunity perspective. So challenge and opportunities, they are just the two sides of the same coin. And there are many different catalysts when we are trying to convert challenges into opportunities, especially focusing and zooming in on the smart IoT devices and LEDs in particular. Let's take some examples. As shown on the slide, you could potentially deploy some automated sensors, for example, right, to make your platform more energy efficient. So whenever there are humans present, you can turn off on the lights, or whenever there are no humans, you can turn off the lights. In fact, there are many products which come in with the inbuilt PIR or passive sensors on an individual light battens or down lights or 2x2s, various form factors. So yes, you can solve a problem in a narrow domain, but what about when you are deploying 100 lights? How are you going to control all those 100 lights in an intelligent manner? How can you coordinate all those 100 lights in a very specific, efficient manner? And that's where the second problem comes in. Like, okay, that you can solve using smart rules, for example, or driving some other energy efficiency that, hey, only if there are more than five people in certain area, certain time of the day, only then turn on the lights to their full brightness. Yes, you can customize certain rules. You can even do personalization. You can have intelligent management systems as well, where you can remotely control the energy usage and lighting levels and luminance and all that. Or you can have contactless operations entirely using just the voice or some other way, remote mechanisms or anything like that, right? Or Bluetooth proximity. But is there any clear winner out of all this catalyst? Each one solves like certain problems, obviously, and they are powerful, no doubts about it. But is there a clear winner which can solve more than one problems, which can provide more than one opportunities that we saw across the cost, convenience, and control spectrum? There is. Voice AI is that biggest catalyst that we have found in our journey for smart IoT lighting platforms of today. And not just lighting, it's even beyond lighting. For many different IoT pain points, voice AI provides that real catalyst. And if, again, harnessed properly, it can make the money rain, just like shown in this slide. Yes, it is possible. So let's look at those three distinct advantages. What is the cost advantage of voice AI? Like, how can voice AI play a role in smart IoT lighting platforms of today? So today in the IoT world, everything has an app. So How many apps practically a customer, a consumer can download on their phones? It's an app noise, it's an app overload. So what we have found is people are more leaning towards app-less or dashboard-less platforms today. And voice provides that capability. So if you're using Google Assistant or Alexa or Samsung, anything, whatever you choose, that becomes your app or a universal app for that matter. So any and all devices which are integrated into that platform, they can be controlled by that voice app. So it's a one-stop shop app. Second element, it's a contactless hygienic operations, and especially in the post-COVID world today, having anything contactless, it's a big deal. Why do you need to make people touch something if you can go by without touching things, right? Third critical point is no need to learn the how part. Is usually with technology, what's the problem is customers, stakeholders, they need to learn two elements of any technology: what to do and then how to do. What to do is the intent, like, okay, this is what I want to turn on and off a particular light. But then how to do I go physically touch, control the switch, or do I change the dimmer, or do I just wave to turn it on? Like, what exactly, what do I need to do? How do I need to take that action? In the voice world, people can peacefully forget about the how part. They can focus only on the what part, and the how things are taken care behind the scenes. It's automatically done by intelligent platforms underneath. That's like a really big cognitive advantage. It's like 100% more efficient. So instead of focusing on two tasks, now the human brain has to focus only on one task, which is what needs to be done. Forget about the how part. And the flip side of that cognitive overhead, the lack of cognitive overhead, is actually voice AI becomes a training-less, very intuitive natural language platform. So in big corporates, you don't have to teach people how to use their dashboards. Click there, go down, go select this menu items. You don't forget about all that, because if that changes, you have to retrain your staff. So those things all vanish away in the interest of cost. So everything saves cost at the end of the day. Appless, dashboardless, no development necessary, contactless, hygiene, you can save on the parts and the touch sensitivity and all that. No need to learn how part, no training needed, no post-sale pains as well. So people can just intuitively solve their problems using the IoT connectivity. And good part is these platforms are equally applicable to B2B, business to business, or B2C, business to consumer type of model. So every single point provides tremendous cost advantage. On the convenience fronts, it's the same thing. From a consumer perspective, people are free to choose whatever voice assistant platform they like, they love, or avoid the ones they hate. So if you're a Google person, you can choose Google. If you're an Alexa person, you can choose Alexa. If you're a Samsung person, you can choose that or anything in the future. So by having that intelligent platform as a middleware, the consumer is free to choose whatever they like. And on the flip side, the manufacturer or the service provider, they don't have to do this multiple integrations themselves. They can just go with one integration. I mean, that's one of the power of Speak to IoT platform. It's just one integration, and it provides many different output compatibility. And same thing on the convenience side, it's contactless hygienic operation. So not just saves cost, but it increases the convenience as well. Multilingual, multi-age learning interactions that are provided by these voice platforms. So people of any age, so today's small devices, smart devices, so-called, they have the age bias inherently built in. Younger generation is much more savvy with those things, but older people with their shaky hands and weak eyesight, they cannot equally and easily operate those touch devices, especially the smartphones of today. So if everything is app centric, old people cannot use things conveniently. Voice avoids that problem. Even old people or young people, anybody and everybody can use voice AI to their advantage. They don't have to look through and go through those with the shaky hands and shaky fingers, like tiny fonts and all, like, okay, where does this particular app button resides? No, you just have to say it and it will get done. And it's highly learning experience. So in case if you are saying things in a wrong manner, today's intelligent platforms, this voice AI platforms, Google, Alexa, Samsung, they're all like super intelligent. So they keep on learning new ways of personalized interactions. So that comes to rescue for the entire conversational experience. And it's highly secure, obviously, and it's in nobody's hands. Like these big giants, they are always compliant to the respective geography rules and laws about data privacy and data protection and all. And additionally, you can have this incremental capability unlocking. Like you don't have to disclose all your feature sets at single time. If you are a manufacturer or a provider of particular service or capability, you can gradually reveal behind the scenes without having any version upgrades or nothing like that. End consumer doesn't feel that. End consumer feels that, hey, previously there were two features available, now there are three or four or five, and I can just incrementally invoke those features. So that's a big convenience advantage. For the control, the same way, it's a data ownership and retention. Especially our platform is built in, it's made in India and made in USA. So we adhere to very strict data privacy standards. Unlike some countries where the data goes behind a firewall and it goes into a black hole, you can never recover the data, no visibility, nothing, and people can do whatever they want with your data. We do not like that kind of an arrangement. Instead, the data ownership has to be transparent and compliant to the regulatory authorities of respective geographies, because that's the one which provides this corporate brand protection. Otherwise, like if somebody else is storing and manipulating your data, there's always a chance of corporate espionage and the brand damaging incidents, right? So other advantage is the future proofing nature. So for example, Speak to IoT platform today, it supports Google, Alexa, and Samsung, all of them out of the box. Tomorrow, if the fourth, fifth, sixth players comes in on the horizon and say, hey, we also have a voice AI, how can you connect with us? So the moment Speak to IoT integrates that new platform in the cloud, all the smart devices that Speak to IoT is supporting, Smart India is supporting underneath, all of them are automatically uh, compatible with this new voice AI platform of tomorrow. So it is inherently future proof and decoupled and extensible and collaborative architecture. So it's not just us, but even third party entities can also chime in. And we try to make it IT policy compliant awareness into the platform, especially for our enterprise and industrial clients. We don't want to be like another small niche player who is kind of coming in the corporate environment and IT goes gung ho that, hey, no, it's like not possible and all. We try to be really friendly with IT. We don't want to increase any of the pain points for the IT people. Just ride simply and smoothly. So essentially, the cost, convenience, and control, it's beyond lighting, but voice AI provides all the nice and great elements of all those things. Looking another way, for any business transformation, right? There are three elements which are required: monetization, or the revenue side of it, always creating, discovering new business models and services and whatnot. The second element is of productivity. How can you be more efficient in your operations? How can you bring down the cost? How can you get more things done in the same budget? And the third thing is the experience of your internal and external customers, whether they are employees or they are actual paying customers. You need to take care of their experience while delivering a product or service. And in simplistic terms, these three things are nothing but the top line, bottom line, and engagement or experience. So you have to affect the top line, or you have to affect the bottom line, or you have to affect the stakeholder experience in order to survive in any business. It has to attack one or more of these three facets. The beauty of the voice is voice AI attacks all of them simultaneously and leverages all of them. It delivers that wow of the innovation and provides the upscale on the top line, right? So it increases the revenue top line by delivering this innovative products which are actually changing people's lives in a positive manner. It also reduces the bottom line by minimizing the expenses and increasing the productivity for all internal and external operations. And the third thing is it generates tremendous engagement and experience of the user. Like, hey, this is out of the world. First time a kid goes to a Disney's magical theme park, and that is the glitter in the eyes of a kid. Like I saw my 4-year-old when we took him first time to Disney World. It's like wow, that aha moment. So all the voice AI customers are going through that experience again and again. It's not just convenience, it's not just control, it's not just cost, it's all of them together along with these three things: top line, bottom line, and experience. So voice is really, it's a holistic and humanized, human centric digital experience. So for example, our platform provides this unified contactless and hygienic platform for everything, whether it's IoT devices on the top right side, lights and refrigerators, and any other smart IoT home or corporate appliances. Second category is corporate workflows. If something is taking 7 days with old processes, how can you automate and make it better for 7 minutes or 7 seconds of work? So, an aspect of RPA, the robotic process automation, that is also captured and included in the voice AI transformation. And the third thing is the human experiences. As we saw, everything revolves around humans at the end of the day. So whether you are picking up a phone and calling customer services, or you're complaining, trying to talk to your boss or HR or anybody, right? Or you're talking to an angry customer. In all, any which ways, human experiences are center point of all the interactions, and voice plays a real big role. And that's the reason why we have kept this voice AI platform simple and extensible. So it's complete, yet it's extensible. So the items which are marked with all the little icon for speak to IoT, they are all the components. So it provides end-to-end vertical solutions with Alexa, Google, and Samsung controlling corporate workflows and Smart India IoT firmware wherever they are deployed. At the same time, it also offers possibilities for third-party integrations that, hey, if you don't like the existing solution, be my guest, bring your own things, or we'll be readily able to integrate your things also in the same platform architecture. So that's the beauty of the platform mindset. It provides a complete solution today in one set of uh, use cases, but at the same time, it leaves the room open for other integration possibilities, and it offers that clearly win-win scenario. It's not like I win and you lose. It never works. It has to be win-win always. And that's what this voice intelligent holistic transformation provides. And if we quickly dive into these three categories: intelligent homes, enterprises, or intelligent industries, right? That's what we try to touch upon in this variety of the holistic transformation. So intelligent homes might be benefited by simple, smart, energy efficient LED lights, which is nothing wrong. Or we could have smart India IoT devices, including the LEDs of various form factors and the switches and fan regulators and curtain controllers and motor controllers and gate openers and even retrofit devices which go behind in your wall and keep your existing front end switches and wiring intact, right? So all those things are possible even in intelligent homes, including smart routers and set-top boxes. And we pride ourselves in completely made in India, made in USA hardware and software. And here are like bunch of products, and obviously you can visit them at a later stage. On the enterprise side, the same thing, whether in the big setup, you can have enterprise IoT sensors with IT partnerships. So you're not bringing in like new alien foreign elements into the IT infrastructure. You are going in with the trusted partners with touchless operations and the right business model. So for example, in our side, in Speak to IoT's case, we are having this deep partnerships with enterprise IT giants like Cisco and Juniper Mist and Meraki. And we take pride in working with them to provide beneficial services to various IT organizations across the globe. And same thing, intelligent industries, whether it's a hands-free field operations or controlling the lights or air qualities, various sensors in a holistic manner. Again, the buzzword is holistic platform for doing everything. So power plants or HVAC or employee tracker, anything, you take it, it's always there. So voice AI is indeed, it's the new light. We need to harness the spark within and leverage that. And as that popular quote goes, that if you want to go fast, go alone. You can travel faster. But if you want to go far, go together. And that is the juncture we are all situated at in today's world. Smart IoT lighting platforms, is not a one person, one company job. We all need to work together to make it happen. So voice AI provides cost, convenience, and control, all the elements which are necessary for making the business success in the top line, bottom line, and experience manner. But we need to transform the landscape together. And with that, I urge everybody and humbly request that let's work together, make the future really future proof for all of us together. Stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you. Bye bye.